What up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today is gonna be a gym video because I have been getting back into the gym recently. Look at these guns. You know what I'm saying? But also, it was also kind of highly requested in order for me to make this gym video. Today I'm gonna be talking about powerlifting, and as well as what I've been doing over the summer, which kind of helped my powerlifting journey, as well as what I'm doing now, how I'm programming, and how it's been working out. I think to start off, summer. Before summer and during summer, I was in Vietnam, so the gyms weren't too nice there because I was mainly in a apartment gym. It was okay. I still was benching and squatting. Luckily, I still retained that strength throughout the whole summer, except for my bench. My bench kind of went down a little bit, but my deadlift over time, ever since I got back, it stayed kind of the same. I actually got stronger in all my lifts. I always thought about the gym is always about going again and again and never taking any breaks, as well as you're never relaxed. But that is a complete wrong way to look at the gym. You go in, you do as much work as you can, but recovery and eating is the most important thing. And I never really grasped the whole recovery part. I would always eat as much as I can, but I would sleep like shit. And sleeping like shit, and also along with just a lot of caffeine dosage, sophomore year, really fucked up my gains. But now that I'm getting back into the gym and kind of noticing how that whole summer, even though I wasn't lifting as much, I came back even stronger, and all my injuries or all those uncomfortable muscles were gone because I took a break. So deloading and recovery is the most important thing you could do in the gym. And I think it's a misconception that a lot of people just want to work hard, get in the gym, work two body parts a week and all this other stuff. But honestly, it's all about that slow growth. And that slow growth is so important because that will help you with your long-term goals instead of trying to reach those short goals that are very unrealistic and can actually injure you or hurt you in the end. But that's literally what I've been doing this whole time. I'll probably enter in some gym clips, and soon I will get a mic once some mics to actually talk in the gym. But I'll probably overplay some gym clips in a little bit and kind of explain how I really got my form down as well during my powerlifting, and how that break also improved my form. But yeah, here we go. Well, hey guys, so this is my Instagram channel. I'm just gonna be showing the form and everything because I've already posted on here if you guys want to go check it out, in Swift Lists on Instagram. And I'm just gonna show how my form has improved. But in this first clip, this is me basically today. I squatted 275 for 4 for RP 8. And right here, Well, I did hit parallel, but right here in this clip, usually back then I would used to have a wider stance. It might not look like it, but I had a wider stance, and my legs and my hips, and as well as like the muscles where, it might sound weird, but where your groin is very important for squat. And if I never took that volume during Vietnam and basically took a 2-month deload, I probably wouldn't even squatted this in the first place. Second rep. And also, when you're doing back downs and everything, you don't really need to go full rep range, because sometimes you can kind of let the weight put you into parallel depth for powerlifting. And you know, obviously my weight is stacked in the midsection and I'm bending down. It's a straight line. And I'm also spreading the floor in order to kind of gain more strength. Instead of me going up, it's kind of like a sumo deadlift where I'm spreading the floor, and my groin, my kind of groin muscle, I think it's called the abductors or the hip abductors, whatever. But it's actually splitting the floor, and I'm technically doing like a sumo deadlift while I'm squatting. And I do low bar because I have long femurs. You know, depending on if you have short femurs, you could, you know, squat, not lean forward. Very stacked midsection. I can draw, just imagine kind of like a line in this barbell path. I know it's kind of difficult to look at that. And this is basically how to squat as a powerlifter, and also just anyone who wants to get down their squat form. A couple exercises that really help me get my squat down is the abductor and hip ductor machine, as well as deficient deadlifts, because your glutes is really important when it comes to squatting, because you're generally thrusting your hips forward kind of, and as well as like your hamstrings. You want to have really big hamstrings and like glutes, as well, not necessarily big but strong, in order to have that base for that squat depth. I also do pause squats if you guys are having trouble with getting parallel. Your hips, I already talked about the abductor, hip ductor machine. You could also use back extensions if you guys are having really big problems with your back during squat. And I use a belt because I usually go higher loads, but I'm assuming that you guys just want to build muscle, and are just going for volume. If you want to go for volume, I suggest a 10 to 15 rep range at kind of like 60% of your max. Make sure it's an RPE 8. In the sense, RPE is how hard it is, and volume is really good for building muscle. If you guys are going for strength, I suggest a 6 to 8 rep range. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. And just a side note, thank you for everyone who has joined my club from last video, as well as following my dismantle club and joining in during lunch and letting me talk and lecture. hopefully next video I'll maybe ask everyone if I can record and you guys can actually kind of listen in. But this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching how to squat from a powerlifting 16-year-old powerlifter. Thanks guys. Please like and subscribe and share this video.